Hey, this is Meridith Elliott Powell. You know what time it is. It is 8 a.m. Eastern, Saturday morning. I'm hanging out here with my partner, Mark Hunter. I got to tell you, Mark Hunter sets a goal. The man sticks to a goal. It is going to be nasty hot in Dallas tomorrow, but there, Mark is going to be up and running his half marathon because the man is going for a full marathon.
Hey, I got to do something on a Sunday morning, right? But anyway, we got a great show today. We got a topic. I love this topic. 3 great things salespeople do every day. 3 great things great salespeople do every day. Let me figure out how to say it. So,
all right, let's rock and roll. All right, welcome back to Sales Logic. We got our audience already popping in here this morning. Good morning, Bill. Good morning, Natalie. Look, before Mark tells you what is on tap for today, I always like to tell you how the show works because we want you, the audience, to be a part of it. Please go to saleslogicpodcast.com. I love getting the questions in here, and we love featuring you right here on the show. We cover a book, we cover a hot topic, and we leave you with a lightning round. Why? Because we want you to make more sales, not Monday morning, starting Sunday morning. So Mark, where do we start today?
Well, the topic is top 3 things great salespeople do daily. But you know what? We're going to give you a lot more than just 3. Hey, the question today comes from Arnie in Missoula, Montana. He asks, I'm always in the top third of salespeople in my company. But what do I need to do to be the top salesperson, not just for a quarter, but for year after year? Hey, I love Arnie. I love Arnie's attitude. I love his spirit. Hustle. Hey, I put the question into Sales Logic Brain, came up with a number of things. Here's just a few of them. Qualify fast and focus deep. In other words, don't spend time with people who aren't going to buy from you. 2, deeper level questioning. Top salespeople aren't hesitant to ask really tough questions. Hey, number 3 on this list here, have conversations, not presentations. Ooh, that means you got to know your stuff so well. Here's another one, protect your time. Top salespeople, of course, we know absolutely protect their time. I'll just call off a couple more. Maintain a balanced pipeline. Have the courage to walk away. And hey, develop skills incrementally. A whole host of things that the brain came. And what's the brain? That's when you join the Sales Logic Mastermind. You get access to the AI brain, which is all of Meridith's content and all of my content available to you 24/7. So anyway, hey, what do you think Arnie should be doing to get to
well, I love this topic. And Thomas, I put your comment up here because you're right. It's the 1st of June. And you know what I love about a first of a month? It's almost like a fresh start, right? Like just what you said. I mean, you get to start all over. You get to decide that I believe that how you spend the first day of the month is how you're going to spend, is how you're going to spend the month. So I love this question. Wow. First of all, I think that you are well on your way because you already have set a vision and set a goal. And I think that's one of the number one things we need to do to be successful people, as well as successful salespeople, is you need to cast a vision of where you see yourself 1 year from now. I mean, if you were home with me this morning, you'd see me get up this morning, meditate, and then read my goals and read my vision, because that's what I want implanted in my mind, because the mind will find what it focuses on.
That's so key because great salespeople start the day off consistently well. They are absolutely consistent. I always firmly believe that one of the biggest differences is discipline and focus. And if you're not disciplined with how you use that first hour or 2 of the day, you're not going to be disciplined with the rest of the day. Hey, James Clear says, you need to set a system, not a goal. Who's James Clear? He wrote the book Atomic Habits. Thank you, Dave Sanderson, for throwing in that comment. We got some great comments coming in because, again, this is a topic. And with it being the 1st of June, I love that initial comment we had because it is June 1st today. And the score is 0-0 for the month of June.
That's right.
And that gives us a fresh attitude and a fresh perspective. I always loved telling my salespeople, they'd say, hey, I had a great quarter last quarter. I go, who cares? Doesn't matter. That was last quarter. What are you going to do this quarter? And that's what we have to say each day, each week, each month, each quarter.
Yeah, I would say that to be a really effective, if you want to be the top salesperson in your company, you need to go emulate really effective and really good salespeople. You need to find a mentor. You need to find somebody who is more successful than you, and learn from them. That is really really important. I was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about this, and I really had to step back and I thought, really, who are my mentors? Who am I trying to emulate? And I just hadn't gotten as clear on that as I really needed to be. So it was a very good step for me. And I'm very, very intentional about it right now. Let me just say that a mentor doesn't have to be somebody that you interact with. I mean, it doesn't have to be somebody that you spend one-on-one time. And maybe it's somebody's podcast that you listen to, or somebody that you watch in the sales process. You learn from them. You need somebody who owns better real estate than you own, so you're pushed to go another level.
See, because what this is all about is about visioning yourself to the next level. And, Jim Rohn said this years ago. I've said this line many, many times. You become the sum of the 5 people you associate with the most. And so who are those that you associate with? It's so key because, again, I think one of the reasons top performers, in fact, it's interesting. I was having dinner last night with a person, top performer in her respective company. And she made the comment, she said, winning is addictive. Once you get winning, you have to keep winning. Losing sucks. And the way she said that, the tone of voice that she said it was so spot on. But she's drilled in. In fact, it was interesting because it was the last day of the month, and she still had a couple hours to close on some deals on the West Coast. And so she left dinner early to go close those deals. I love that because there's an attitude, there's a spirit of constantly doing. Hey, I love Bryn. Bryn, thank you for jumping in a couple of weeks ago as the co-host, as Meridith was.
She was awesome.
No voice, but Meridith's back. But anyway, Bryn says, my 3 things before my call with a client or referral: make a list of who they know on LinkedIn, and I'm ready to ask for referrals when the time is right, because she's all about referrals. Number 2, she says, pre-call planning. Yes. And 3, engage with 10 prospects. That's what she does to be at top of the game. And she certainly is top of the game.
Yeah, I think, so number 1, I said cast a vision. I mean, I am really, really big on getting your mindset right, that you are going to be the top salesperson. You need to feel it. You need to see it. Then, then you really need to find people to emulate. And from there, we can start to get tactical. I mean, I think one of the most important things that if you want to be a really great salesperson is you've got to realize this is a lifestyle. It isn't a task. You're not shooting towards a goal. You are selling all the time, not because you're trying to be the best salesperson, but because, oh my gosh, there's so many people out there that you can help and you can reach out to. I was sitting yesterday waiting to go on stage to do a keynote. They were way behind schedule. And I was sitting in the back of the room. I'm 30 minutes past when I should have gone on. And I thought, I'm sitting here doing nothing. I'm just going to start texting some of my prospects, ones that I had permission, but I thought I might as well, I might as well just use the time effectively. And not because I wanted to, just fill time. It's like, how can I be effective to really try to help people? And I've got something that can help these people. So you're filling that time. You need to do it all the time.
And what you're doing is you're also changing your mindset when you're doing that, because as you're texting people, as you're sending people, it's giving you juice. Friday afternoons for me is always calling. I love calling. And yesterday afternoon, I was calling, and one of the calls I made was to the CEO of a company. And I hadn't talked to him in about 3 months. And he answered the phone, and we had a great 15-minute conversation. And what's interesting is it gave me a tremendous amount of juice. It gave me some ideas. It gave me some talking points for other people in the same industry that this gentleman's company is in. And this is why it's so important to stay in the game. And that's what top salespeople do, is they stay in the game and they use those little windows of time. For you, it was yesterday. You're running late. You're kind of stuck behind stage waiting to speak. You use that time. It's how to see, top salespeople always find ways to take advantage of whatever window of opportunity is available to them. And that's a big difference. See, because that's a mark of controlling the day versus responding to the day.
Yeah, I think another thing that really top salespeople. I mean, this to me separates the good salespeople from the great salespeople. Great salespeople are really always trying to learn. I mean, when they get in a room with other salespeople, even if they're the top sales performer in the company, they're the ones sitting there going, what are you doing? What could I learn? What could I adopt? What could I be doing? There's like a humble confidence about them. They already know they're good, so they don't need to prove it. They don't need to tell anybody, and they're anxious to learn. I was in a sales meeting probably about a month ago, and I had this exact scenario. I had the top performer in that group, and I had somebody who was a pretty good performer in the room. And the way that the top performer came in, he spoke very little unless other people asked him questions. And what a bunch of idiots. They did not ask him questions, and they should have been sucking him dry for everything that he was doing. But he was the one asking questions as to what his coworkers were doing when they got in a deal. He was trying to enhance an already incredible strategy and make it better. So you've got to be, I'm going to call it humbly confident.
See, and that's always looking at every opportunity as you can learn something. You can learn something. I was speaking this week at an event, and after I got done speaking, there was a section that they were talking about autism. Now that's interesting. I don't know much about autism, and I sat there and I listened to the speaker, and I go, wow, this was absolutely fascinating. I learned so much about autism, and I caught myself realizing, why didn't I know more about that? But we always have to go into everything and say, how do we learn something? Now, am I going to use that information for something? I don't know. But we always are open. And I'll tell you what, man, it's mind-blowing when you set your sight on learning what you will learn.
Yeah, I love. I'm not going to pronounce your name correctly, so I'm not even going to try. But basically, the question is, can you tell me if I have an export business, what type of sales techniques or strategies should I use? Everything that we're talking about here today. I mean, number one, you need to have a vision. Number two, you need a mentor. You need somebody to learn from. You need to be in learning mode. You need a really great sales process. You need to define the behaviors you're going to do day in and day out to try to reach that goal or reach that vision. And then you need to, I think really great salespeople aren't hung up on the way they always did it. Like they really review and ask themselves what's working, what isn't working, what do I need to change? The other thing I'm going to say is you need to care. I mean, if you are selling from your head, you are never going to be a great salesperson. You need to believe in your product or service and believe that you are making a difference, and you need to sell from your heart.
And when you sell from your heart, it's amazing how you listen differently. You're going to hear different things, and you're going to be far more in the groove. Yesterday afternoon, like I said, I was making my calls, and one of the things that I always have, and every top performer, you do too, it's the metrics. What are the metrics? What are the absolute things that you do every day without fail? And it's interesting, but I got the number of calls I wanted to get done. And I kept calling because I was having fun. I was in the groove. Like I said, I had that conversation with that CEO that kind of jazzed me. This is the whole situation. You've got to put yourself in the frame of, I'm going to go ahead and do what others will not do, because I know I'm on a mission to help people. I love Natalie's comment, attend programs where you learn and can network. Always connect with attendees during and after the event. I'll tell you what, regardless of what kind of sales you're in, if you are not helping others succeed by giving them referrals, by connecting them with people. Yesterday, I had a meeting with a CEO of a veterans group. And it was very interesting, but he was looking for some assistance. And I connected him with several other people including people in National Speakers Association. And it was just absolutely, I left that meeting feeling, yeah, this was great. This was excellent. Hey, I love Larry's comment. Larry Long Jr., if you don't know me, he is a bundle of energy. Thanks for sharing great insights. Power of questions, curious and inquisitive to learn. I bet Larry wakes up every morning inquisitive and curious to learn, right? Don't you think he's doing that?
Oh, absolutely. And tremendous sales guru. Just got back from a big engagement in Dubai. If you don't follow
Yes.
Larry Long, you should. So, I'm really trying to think in my mind, like what really, really separates, good salespeople from, from really great salespeople. And I think that really, really great salespeople they force themselves to be uncomfortable. And, and I think that's probably one of the biggest pieces that separates. Are you doing anything that is pushing you out of your comfort zone? Like just take Natalie's, that thing of networking. Do you know how many people walk into a networking event and they talk to people that they already know? Like that's a waste of your time and energy. You could pick up the phone and get those people. Like really go in. What are you doing that is pushing you out? That relentless pursuit to be uncomfortable is what separates good from great.
Well, that's the key thing about top performing people. They consistently do what others will not do. And they don't hesitate to do it. You look at any top athlete, I don't care what the sport is, they are doing things that others simply will not do. And yet they do it. And they don't hesitate in doing it. See, again, because they're absolutely disciplined with their time. I find it's amazing. Average people struggle getting things done. Now, top performing people do struggle, but they push through that wall. They push through the wall. Here's something interesting. And I'm not sure where I learned this, but Navy SEALs say that the average person, when you're absolutely exhausted, mentally fried, everything, you're only at 40% of your potential. You're only at 40%. In other words, you have another 60%. And what makes Navy SEALs so great is the fact that they're able to push through that wall. And I think top performers do just that. They push through. They say, hey, I know I can do this. Yeah, I'm tired. I want to go do something else. They push through it. Jeffrey Gitomer. Everybody knows Jeffrey Gitomer. He's written, the Little Red Book is selling and tons of books. He made a comment. He said one of the biggest changes he had to make in his life was to turn off the television. He does not watch television. And he said when he turned off television years ago, that absolutely changed him because it suddenly gave him so much more time to get absolutely focused and committed to his craft. Hey, I'm looking at John's comment. It's been rough for about 2 months, and then the process did what the process does. Ooh, I love that. I love John. Because you know what's interesting? So many times we go and do something, like going to the gym. I'm on a mission, in terms of running. Tomorrow I'm going to run a half marathon. And it's going to suck, I think. But you know what? It's going to kick in, and it's going to work. And why am I doing that? Because I keep driving forward further and further and further. And again, this John Register, you are such a committed to this because you are so disciplined and so focused. Yeah.
Yeah, we have so many great comments coming in here, but I know it is time to get to the book.
Man, this is an unbelievable conversation from everybody. I think we've hit a real key spot. Hey, the book comes today from Scott Ingram. Scott Ingram, Sales Success Stories. 60 stories from 20 top 1% salespeople. If you don't,
I have not read that book, but wow, the power of story, and then you're getting it from the top 1%ers.
Scott is just zeroed in on just the top 1%er, and he is a fascinating individual to hang out with. And great guy to learn from because, man, is he connected. So anyway, but that's the book. Hey, are you ready for the lightning round?
I am. Let's do it.
Lightning round. Top 10 things top performers do, and you should too. Go.
Number one, top performers go into every day with a plan.
Top performers start every day consistently, the same time, doing the exact same thing every day.
Top performers do what they need to do, whether they want to do it or not.
Top performers have metrics. They have the numbers that they know they need to achieve because the score they put up on the scoreboard is a result of the activities, the plays they do on the field.
Number 5, top performers treat a goal as something to blow through, not something to achieve. It is a milestone on a destination of going to a level that people didn't even think was possible.
Number 6, top salespeople. Hey, if they can't qualify you and quickly, they cut you loose. They do not spend time with people who just want to talk.
Yeah, number 7, I would say that that top performers perform in every aspect of their life. They're physically in shape, they're spiritually in shape, they're financially in shape, their career and their relationships are solid.
Number 8, top performers look at every situation as an opportunity to learn, and they do. They never attend a meeting without learning, never have a phone call without learning something.
Number 9, top performers don't ever believe they're a top performer, and that's as far as they'll go. They're always reaching for the next level.
Number 10, top performers find people who they want to aspire to be. It's that mentor. Maybe they can't connect with the mentor, but they at least aspire because they follow them. Hey, what a great show today. Hey, if you like what you hear, subscribe, rate, and review the show on your favorite podcast app. Boy, we need reviews. Please leave us some reviews. If you like what you hear, and tell a friend about our show, because it's how we grow when we help you grow. I'm Mark Hunter.
And I'm Meridith Elliott Powell.
Remember, when you sell with confidence and integrity,
all of this uncertainty suddenly becomes your competitive advantage.
And the sale becomes logical.
All right. When you listen to the download of this show, boy, you have got to see the comments that the audience has put in there. I really wish we had time to get them all because there is amazing advice in these comments. Please remember to go out to saleslogicpodcast.com, put your questions in there, and think about joining the Sales Logic Mastermind. We would love to have you. But for now, Mark and I will see you right back here next week with another hot topic and another set of strategies that are going to help you be even more effective in the sales arena. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.